Welcome to the Fifth and Goal Sports Podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Aaron, Josh, and Jonny.
Welcome to the show. Listeners, viewers, thanks for being here. As always, hope you're doing well. It is April 20th, 2026, and we are just existing with lots of basketball and hockey. Jonny, what's going on, man? How you doing?
How are you, Jonny?
Well, there's also been some, NFL moves too, I suppose.
It's an interesting question. I don't know how I'm doing. I'm not sure.
I was going to text and say, hey, do you need me to... Do you want to play the role of GM this week and I do all the mock picks? Jonny, I went to as you were texting, Jonny, I was at a New Orleans jazz band, like just playing. My watch was yelling at me that I was at 111 decibels because I was standing in front of a trombone, as one does. And I was like, I wonder if Jonny would like to be here instead.
Yes. Yes, I would have.
I think he would like to be blasted by 7 trombones than to read the ESPN alert.
Well, it's just like one of those times. It's like your friend
the
who
Bengals did a thing, in case you're not familiar.
And it's just like, no, I don't believe in gambling. I'll never gamble. And then they're like, dude, look at this 10-leg parlay I just dropped. Like, it's going to go so well. And it's like, dude, one, I didn't think like you were ever willing to gamble. Like, I don't know. Like, 2, no, that's crazy. That's burning your money. So anyway, we'll talk about it later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, do we need to make later now?
We can't even.
Here's the deal. Well, let me set
we
the stage.
were going to do another round of our really successful mock draft
this week. Yeah, Josh, you're right. We're going to have a mock draft. We're going to continue from last week. If you missed last week, we are now going to do part 2 of myself and Jonny's alternating mock draft.
You can probably
one of the reasons why we're doing that is because we like the draft. The other reason is on Thursday, if you like what you hear here, on Thursday, Jonny and I are going to be live during the first round of the NFL draft. We're going to take you through picks 1 through 32. We're going to react as the picks happen, as the trades happen. We're going to have some of our friends on who are fans of different teams so they can give you better insight than we can. We're trying to get it worked out to where someone we know is actually going to be at the draft, and we're going to try to loop them into the show, and they can tell us, hey, here's what it's like being at the draft. So all those things are in work, but regardless, be here on Thursday, and by here, I mean the Fifth and Goal Sports YouTube channel. It's going to be on the main channel. We're going to be streaming live. It should also be on Facebook. We'll try to post the live stream basically anywhere we can, but before we really dive into things, I did want to give that PSA, because yes, this week we're jumping into part 2 of our alternating draft. We've got hockey talk on the way as well, because the Stanley Cup playoffs are underway. We talked NBA playoffs last week. We may dabble in that a bit today. But I think we need to get this off our chests, and by our, I mean Jonny's. Because look, the Cincinnati Bengals said, hey, let's not pay Trey Hendrickson. Let's pay a guy who's far less productive.
So I will...
And trade our first round pick for him.
This might be surprising. I was fuming, came back down, and then I've gotten 3/4 of the way back there. So I'm not as upset as I was like when it first happened.
Are you at depression? Is that the stage?
No, not quite depression. That'll happen after I see who the Giants pick with our pick.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Like, I'm okay Trey Hendrickson walking. He's not happy anymore. He was hurt last year. Also, he's going to be on the wrong side of 30. Like, hey, like, actually, that makes all the sense in the world for the Bengals to allow him to walk. Dexter Lawrence, would I like to have him? Absolutely. And he's really more for the run stopping. The thing is, the Bengals are bad everywhere almost on defense. Everywhere. This is the type of move you make when it's like, hey, man, like, the defense is okay, but we really are struggling against the run in the interior because he's a defensive tackle. He's a really, really good defensive tackle. He's not really primarily to rush the passer. He's a run stopper. And when the Bengals have been most effective, on defense has been when they have a guy at defensive tackle, at nose guard, if you will, that can just really plug the hole, like almost on an island. They just leave him alone and they allow the defense behind him to swarm. I don't hate the move if it's not for the price tag. The price tag's crazy. And I don't even mean the money. The money's fine. The Bengals have plenty of cap space. That's totally cool. The 10th overall pick, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And here's why, and this is why it is financial. You get a rookie contract for a player for 5 years. You only have Dexter Lawrence for 3. And he's 28, which is fine. So you're going to get 3 years instead of 5. You're going to get a really good player. You could have potentially, at least to me, what it appears to be at this point, probably had Caleb Downs. Now, here's where it's going to be unfinished. My rant will be unfinished because it's going to all be about who's available at 10. Because if the Bengals somehow had intel that's like, hey, man, Downs is gone, Styles is gone, Reese is gone, David Bailey's gone, and those are the only guys that they saw as valued and worthwhile, that 10 pick, and better than Dexter Lawrence, then I at least can understand and respect your methodology. I can at least understand that. But if one of those guys is still sitting there at 10, specifically probably Caleb Downs, I'm going to be livid. I'm going to lose it. Because not only is he younger, 5-year contract instead of 3, he's going to be way cheaper. That is a tone setter, green dot, leader of your defense. And the best the Bengals defense has been was when they had Jesse Bates back there doing something very similar. And they wouldn't pay him and they let him walk. One of the biggest mistakes they've made in the last 5 years. So that is going to be very telling and going to determine my mood on the whole about this trade is who's there at 10. If all those guys are gone and it's between him and especially if even Ruben Bain's gone, I don't think he will be, but if he's even gone, then I'll actually kind of be like, well, okay. I don't love the trade because I still would have said, can't we give him next year's first? Can't we give him 2 seconds? Is there something else we can do to hold? Because I would have loved this trade if you don't have to pay the 10th overall pick. The second round pick, fine. I want that 10th because if you get Dexter Lawrence and could also get Caleb Downs, then that's wow, amazing job. Tip of your cap to Tobin. This was to placate Joe Burrow because he's mad at the front office, justifiably mad. And it's kind of an energy boost to the locker room. Look, guys, we did something. We're trying. And it's yeah, but you're aimlessly firing into the wind. What's the game plan on defense still? We're 5 starters probably away on defense still. The secondary is atrocious. There isn't a linebacker core right now. So you can get some of those depth pieces, of course, in the second and third round, for sure. But I was very frustrated. And I think a lot of Bengals fans were, and you're going to see a lot of praise for the Bengals, I think, in general, because the fans were like, oh my gosh, they made a trade. And it's almost the fact that they made a trade rather than actually digging into, was this actually smart? What's the game plan and vision here for the defense? Does this actually make sense? And it doesn't to me. But I think people are just oh my gosh, the Bengals did something. And that's enough for a lot of the fans because our expectations are so low.
Yeah. All right. This sounds like the bargaining stage.
Yeah, there you go, Josh.
Yeah. Well, at least you got Zach Taylor still. That's good. From the New York Giants perspective,
makes all the sense.
It's very interesting because now obviously they have 2 of the top 10 picks. In fact, if you expand it out in the top 16 picks, which again we went over last week, so not to kind of recap the entire show, but the New York teams, the Giants and the Jets, have 25% of the top 16. If you're the Giants and you're looking at John Harbaugh and his pedigree, you are hoping You get 2 top 10 picks this year. You're hoping you never have a top 10 pick again. That's the expectation. And this is a great starting point. The Giants need help just about everywhere. We talked about it. Now they have 2 cracks at the top 10. And I'm not going to say I feel confident because, again, we're talking about the Giants, and that, for the most part, has not been a good recipe. But I think if I am the Giants and you kind of got rid of a player who clearly did not want to be there and you got a top 10 pick for him, I think that's an A+ for the New York Giants, in my opinion. So we went through the top 16 last week. Again, check out that episode if you want to hear what our mock draft was up to that point. We're going to go through picks 17 and 32. Commissioner Josh, would you like to formally reopen the draft?
Welcome back to the highly successful Fifth and Goal Sports mock draft 2026. I will not be playing my walkout music or my playout music. It was a funny bit, but for any aspiring podcasters out there, and I am going to do this thing where the commissioner kind of just talks for kind of unrelated reasons.
That's what happens. The media got to give time for the TVs to get set up.
It's really cool. Yeah. What's really nice is I'll just turn you guys down. I won't even hear the booze.
That's right.
Don't play if you can't play your piano and send it as a separate audio signal to your sound guy, who's very nice. You're a very nice producer, Chris. Don't instead go, well, what if I point my mic towards my monitors, then, which is also carrying your co-host's signal, and I played the piano over top of them, but through the same source. And then have your very nice producer try and mix that in. That's what we call bad. Don't do that. I shall not do that. At least as far as I know.
Yeah. It was a good bit.
It was a good bit.
I needed it.
It will not. Yes. I'll have to figure out something else to do this time. But with the 17th pick in the draft, the Detroit Lions, who, as far as we know, have not done something weird, are going with.
Yeah, this is my team, so I'm honored to pick for them. They need offensive linemen. I went back and forth on this pick because they really need an offensive tackle. Taylor Decker is gone. They released him. The thought is that Penei Sewell is going to move from right tackle to left tackle. So tackle's a huge need. So then I looked at Caden Proctor for Alabama, which he's just a mammoth of a man. But the thought is that there's some concern with his foot speed, with his length, that maybe he ends up being a guard. So rather than pigeonhole myself into an offensive tackle position, which is the primary position that is needed, the Lions just need offensive linemen, period. That 2024 team that was so good has one lineman left, and his name is Penei Sewell. So I'm going to go with Penn State's Vega. I'm going to butcher this last name. Ioane, I believe is how it's pronounced. I may have butchered that. We'll come back to that. But that's where I'm going. Penn State, dude's a stud. And like 600 snaps, didn't allow a sack. So he's probably a guard. Actually, he is a guard. I'll just put that out there. He is a guard, but he is a stud. And he's a great piece to add to this line for the Detroit Lions. So again, if he's there, I think Lions fans are going to be pretty happy. He'll just trade one color of blue for another.
Yeah, they'd be happy with him there. I don't know if he gets there past the Ravens at 14.
Agreed.
But we'll see. At 18, it's the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings need a lot of help. They need to get cheaper. They need to get younger on defense. Let's not even discuss the whole quarterback thing going on right now in Minnesota, because I don't think that's applicable, because they don't need one more horse in that race right now. I think that's really a next year thing for them to actually solve. But for Minnesota,
they need 9 more horses.
Yeah, Harrison Smith has been their safety for a really, really long time. He's thinking about retiring. I think this is where we see the second safety go off the board, and I think it's Emmanuel McNeil-Warren from Toledo. Toledo's had a really good secondary in the past 3-4 years. I think he is going to be the second safety off the board to Minnesota. But Minnesota is also one of those teams that absolutely pay attention, because they would be more than happy to drop in this first round several spots to get extra draft capital later on.
Yeah. real quick, I'm not going to do this for every pick, I promise. But Jonny and I had the chance to cover a Toledo game a couple years ago. And one of the things that jumped off the page was their safety play. So now here we are a couple years later, one of their safeties going in the top 10. Sorry, not top 10, first round, top 20. Pretty sweet. I had the Carolina Panthers, who are at 19. I had them also picking a safety because they need help just generally in their backfield. The one I thought you were going to say first, Jonny, and I'm glad you said Emmanuel McNeil-Warren first. I thought you were going to go with Dylan Thieneman from Oregon. That's who I'm going to go for. Now, 3 safeties in the top 19, is that realistic? Probably not. I don't think that's going to happen. But that's where I'm going with the Panthers. Thieneman, who some are comparing him to like a Jaquan Brisker type. That's where he's going to go. It's Carolina.
And that really throws me off because that's who I had Dallas taking at the 20th pick. Because, and Dallas, like, this is not a hot take by any standpoint, is probably only drafting defensive players in this draft. Yeah. Nor should they really even be considering drafting anybody else in the early rounds. That defense has got to get cheap because how expensive they are at the defensive line and on the offensive side of the ball. So they need to get cheaper and they need to get the best defenders that they possibly can. Gosh, now I got to make sure it's not somebody that we've already said. We have not said Delane yet? Is that correct? That feels almost impossible.
It's correct, and
we're
incorrect.
So wrong for this. But if he's there, yes. I mean, Dallas is sprinting to the podium. He will not be there, by the way. In this, we already have the Cowboys taking Jermod McCoy, a corner, but like they honestly could use 2. And if you could get the 2 best corners in the draft, like you would be crazy not to do it. So Mansour Delane, LSU. I mean, this kid is probably going top 12, top 15 at the worst. It's between him and McCoy for the top corner in the draft. McCoy's coming off basically not playing this season with his injury. So it's upside in what he showed before then. Delane was probably the best corner in the entire country last year in college. So you could flip-flop either one, but the Cowboys will be thrilled to get either one of these guys.
Josh, your Pittsburgh Steelers are on the clock at 21.
Here's what they need. Let me tell you what they need. Yeah. First off, Aaron Rodgers gone. That's not going to happen.
Nope.
But
he's holding you hostage.
We have an opportunity. Yes. As his wishes a lot of people are used to, unfortunately. But there's a chance. Is it going to happen? No, because it's the Steelers. But there's a chance to do something that I've wanted them to do for the past decade, which is draft a young, not ready to start quarterback, but has potential, and let them just sit. They need to draft a young, up-and-coming quarterback, maybe not a ton of snaps in their college career, but good bones, good roots, and the ability to learn from a mentor. So for
who's the mentor?
The 21st pick,
that was going to be my question.
They'll ship someone in.
I was going to say it's not Rodgers.
It's been there a year.
I think they're bringing Pickett back. They're going to get Pickett back.
Where is
over
Pickett
the summers? Oh boy, he's probably QB3 at like the Raiders or something stupid.
The Aviators.
Yeah, Aviators. No, which is why I'm having them pick Ty Simpson from Alabama.
Okay.
Is he going to be on the board? Absolutely, because no one's picking a quarterback, and no one's picking them. He only has 15 career starts. That's also a reason why he's not going to get picked. At 21, is it possible? Absolutely.
It's pretty possible.
The Bengals. It's pretty possible, and
not earlier than this, but it's possible at 21.
Not earlier than this. This is the only thing I can see. The other thing was that's it.
No, that's
my
the
only
ceiling.
option.
21 is Ty Simpson's ceiling.
That's
it will not be earlier than that. Josh, to your point though, I do think he goes in the first round. Either
I do too.
By the Steelers, no one below them currently sitting in the draft order would take him. But someone absolutely would be willing, and I would actually project, we don't do it with our mock drafts. We don't do the whole trade thing, but I bet an Arizona type of team is probably trading back into the first if he's still there.
Yeah. And just if you're not aware, here's Arizona's QB room. You guys are going to love this.
Oh boy.
Because this is a real threat, because Arizona's technically at 34.
Yeah. Right.
But you could see them trading up, because right now they have Jacoby Brissett, Gardner Minshew, the second, and Kadon Slovis.
Oh, Slovis is there. Yay.
Yeah. That's how everybody, everybody reacts to being told. Yeah,
I would tell them, please don't.
It's not what we call a depth chart.
Be bad, get good players. Next year, get the quarterback.
Yeah. Because
you'll kill him.
We're back to, you need someone who could start now, or you just need to write it out.
Write it out, man.
Because you're gonna ruin Simpson. Not
him.
Because you guys are bad at it, but there is nothing there for him to walk into.
No. That offensive line is
I agree
terrible.
that there's going to be more than one quarterback taken in the first round. Like in this day and age, it feels
It'll
almost
only
impossible.
be two, though. Like there's no third quarterback
I don't see anybody else.
taken.
Yeah.
But Ty Simpson will be taken in the first round. Like I would be absolutely stunned if somebody doesn't talk themselves into that at the bottom of the first round. Like you said, Josh, that's a great point. Like the Cardinals are technically at 34. So it's not like, oh man, first round. It's like, no, they got to move up maybe 6 spots. Maybe. Yeah. And that would just only be if they think somebody else would do that as well. Yeah. So interesting.
Yep.
Oh,
all right. I like it, Josh.
Aaron, you cool with that? Ty Simpson, 21.
Yep. The commissioner has spoken.
It in. Sorry.
The commissioner has spoken. This was a reverse Chris Paul trade.
Oh.
Instead of nixing a trade, the commissioner said this player must be on this team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
At 22, I'm going to pick a very Jim Harbaugh pick, and it's going to be TJ Parker, Clemson defensive end. He just fits the Chargers there. I think cultural fit there. They actually really could use offensive line help, but at this point, it's a big reach for most of the guys left. Aaron, I know you left Proctor on the board technically, but I don't think Proctor will probably be on the board at this point. And man, that dude just is going to keep drafting defensive players anyway. Like he just will.
Well, Proctor being on the board means that with the 23rd pick in the draft, the Philadelphia Eagles, who do need offensive linemen and specifically offensive tackle, because you're looking at Lane Johnson being up there, like maybe this is his last year. Yeah. So Caden Proctor is going to go to the Philadelphia Eagles. He is, again, a mammoth of a man. He checks in at 6'7", 366 pounds. He's also still 20 years old, barely. Like he'll just turn 21 basically by the time the season. So he's still young.
Right.
So huge dude, massive potential. There's some concerns, but at this point, there's going to be concerns with everybody. Mm-hmm. This is the time of year where you're nitpicking, but if the Eagles, if he's still here, that seems like such an obvious selection for the Philadelphia Eagles in Caden Proctor.
Yeah, it is. And Aaron, he's great in run. Run is actually his strength, run blocking. So he actually fits the ethos of Philadelphia. If he's there, once again, there sprinting to the podium, wouldn't even be surprised if they moved ahead of the Chargers to make sure they get him. Because I think the Browns reach at this point because they desperately need, after getting Carnell Tate, they get their weapon for whoever's playing quarterback. They need to protect their quarterback a little bit better. And your best offensive tackles are all gone now. Like there's a clear delineation, separation here. So I think they go for another Clemson Tiger, and this is Blake Miller, Clemson offensive tackle. They're going to try to reinforce that offensive line. He's kind of right there at that peripheral. Is he a first, second round pick here? I think the Browns know that's the need. That's what they go for. Rather than picking best available, I think they take Blake Miller. But credit, like here's the thing with these Clemson players. The tape's not going to be great for all of them. They are much better than what the tape and their stats probably show from last year. And you almost need to go 2 years ago. I don't fully understand what happened to Clemson last year. Because we're now talking about like 3 Clemson Tigers in the first round pretty easily, and they just fell off the map. So don't think so much about the team with these players. These are NFL quality starters from Clemson. Don't get hung up on the season that they just had.
I like it. I like that pick. For the Bears, who are drafting at 25. You hear that, Chicago fans? You're drafting at number 25.
Congratulations.
The Bears mostly are going to be looking for help on defense. I think you feel okay about the offense. So on the defensive side, they're going to go with what, in my opinion, is the best defensive end or edge rusher available that we have not picked, and that is Keldrick Falk from Auburn. He's, a little bit more of a hybrid player, but that's okay. I think if you're the Bears, give yourself the option to be flexible. There's going to be other players that are going to add to this, in this draft. There's other defensive ends, edge rushers that I think still have a lot of value that you can potentially pick with your second round pick. And actually, because you sent DJ Moore to Buffalo, you have 2 of those. So you have the 57th and you have the 60th pick. So I think they start. There with Auburn's Keldrick Falk, and then we'll see what else they do the rest of the way.
Aaron, I like the pick. Underrated because of how bad Auburn was this year. He was very productive. Really good player for them. This is this is one of the most intriguing picks at the back end of the first round, for me, just personally, because Buffalo could go in a lot of different directions. Josh Allen's cap hit's not lessening any. They could use additional weapons still on offense. The O-line's still doing okay, but it feels like it's probably a little bit of a reach right now if you're Buffalo for most of the wide receivers left, and you just tried this. So are you going to go young again at wide receiver? I don't think so. I think they actually go defense. I think they keep trying to get cheap, and I think they keep trying to get pass rushers. So we're going to go Cassius Howell, Texas A&M defensive end.
Yeah, I like that pick a lot, because if I'm the Chicago Bears in that scenario, I think those are the 2 names you're deciding between. And then Buffalo, maybe they take just whichever guy's left over. The San Francisco 49ers are on the board at 27. What notable injury did the 49ers have this year? George Kittle goes down with an Achilles injury. Which position has not been drafted so far in our mock draft? That is the tight end position. Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon goes here. I said it last week because it's just an insane stat, so I'll say it again. He reached the same top speed in his 40-yard dash as Jahmyr Gibbs, and this man is a tight end. So this dude's a freak athlete. He needs to figure out how to block. That's going to be part of his learning process. But in terms of just his ability, I think what a weapon you're adding to the offense of the 49ers. And I think they're going to be pretty happy if he falls all the way down to 27, which, given his talent, I'm not sure happens. I talked about how I like the Ravens to potentially take him. But if he falls into their lap, there will be joyous celebration in the Bay Area.
Yeah, he has all the tools to block. It's just consistency. And that Oregon offense just also wasn't made for that. So it'll be interesting to see what that looks like. Aaron, and this is another team that, they need another offense. There's just a shortage of offensive linemen. We need more, and everybody always needs more. So at this point in time, though,
Johnny, you know why?
Because nobody wants to be an offensive lineman.
It's the war on protein.
Oh gosh.
Okay, I'm going to mute again.
CJ Stroud needs protected desperately, but the best player on the board, and to me at this point, far and away, is Caden McDonald for Ohio State at defensive tackle. And it's been a dereliction of duty for the Texans protecting Stroud, and I think they continue it. I think they take Caden McDonald if he's sitting there at 28. And part of that's just because there's only one other tackle that I even have remotely a first round grade on left there, and I think they pass up on him.
Interesting. Yeah, that's fascinating. So that leaves the Kansas City Chiefs, which we've already talked about them in our mock draft at pick number 9. I had the Kansas City Chiefs selecting Spencer Fanos. They've shored up part of their offense. Now it's time for the defense. Who did they trade? Again, I'm not trying to make this overly simplified here, but let's just, again, hear me out. Who did they trade to the Los Angeles Rams? Trent McDuffie, cornerback, one of the best in the NFL. So what should they be looking for with their second pick? Cornerback. Avion Terrell, to my knowledge, unless I'm looking at this list that we drafted wrong, he's still available from Clemson.
No, you're right.
Elite IQ. That's a lot of what you're hearing from people that are really checking out his game. Elite football IQ, his playmaking. That's what jumps off the page and can make him a potential great option no matter what defensive scheme you're putting him in. So is he going to just 1-for-1 replace Trent McDuffie? Of course not. But it's a position of need. The Kansas City Chiefs fill it here for their second pick in the first round.
At 30 with Denver, it's kind of a luxury pick. This is a team that probably should have been in the Super Bowl facing off against Seattle without that Bo Nix injury. I don't think I'm making any waves by saying that. However, they had to come from behind many, many times.
I don't think they have this pick, John.
This
what
is
did I
Denver
hop ahead?
gave it. No, you're good.
You're correct.
Dolphins have it.
Oh, my bad.
This is a Waddle trade.
Oh, my fault. Thank you.
No, you're good.
Dolphins need help everywhere.
You're correct.
This is a luxury pick. They're doing okay. They're just going to say, oh, crap.
The Dolphins roster is an abomination like right now. It just is, which is why it was great to, trade away Waddle. That was correct in them doing so because...
And we had them drafting Mekhi Lemon at pick 11.
So they're not, even though there are several wide receivers that I actually think are a first round grade that are still left here. And I don't know if they all will. Given we keep saying this, like, oh, I don't know if they'll be there. I don't know if they'll be there. There's always people falling in the draft. And there's always a couple guys that you're like, I can't believe they're there at the beginning of the second round. So one or two of these wide receivers will probably fall to the second round. And right now, who we have left is Boston from Washington, Cooper from Indiana, and Concepcion from Texas A&M. Wouldn't be shocked if any of them go in the first round. They won't go here, though, of course, to Miami. Even though they have a need at wide receiver, it's just not the most pressing need, especially this early in the draft. They can go get valuable wide receivers later on. So I think they'd actually take the best player available. And at this point in time, I think that's Caleb Lomu, tackle from Utah. They need help everywhere. I just think he's the best guy available. You could go corner here as well, but you just take the best guy on the board if you're Miami.
Yeah. I like that a lot. And if I'm the New England Patriots, who are drafting at 31, seeing how Drake May was beat up throughout the playoffs, I'm kind of groaning a little bit because that would have been a nice player for me. They could easily go offensive tackle or offensive guard. We've kind of talked about that. Like, at what point are these teams going to look at what's available and say, okay, we're kind of tapped out of what we would quantify as a first round talent at our pick in 31. So I'm going to go a little bit off the board here, but I'm going to say at edge, the New England Patriots add R. Mason Thomas from Oregon. A little bit of, I'm not going to say a hot take, but because you've got like a Zion Young there who, if you just look just metrics, maybe ranks a little bit higher, but R. Mason Thomas just look at his highlight film and that's all you need to see for him. He is a baller and I think he'll do well with the Patriots if that's where they decide to go with their 31st pick.
You have all the AJ Brown news. So I think your initial, if not for that, you would think one of these wide receivers, and maybe it still will be.
Yep.
But I think that mitigates that a little bit. Now you're here at Seattle. What did Seattle lose after the Super Bowl? They lost corners. They lost their running back. They really don't have a running back right now. With Charbonnet injured, we don't know when he'll be back, when he'll be ready to go for this coming season. And of course, you lost Kenneth Walker to Kansas City in free agency. So I'm weighing here between you have some great corners on the board, and you also have Jadarian Price, who's Notre Dame's running back, who I think is who they take here. He's the only other consensus starting capable running back. I know there will be 4th and 5th round running backs that are amazing out of this draft, as there always are. But I don't think you can just assume that if you're Seattle, when you don't know what that running back room looks like right now. If they don't take him here, they certainly will take a running back in the 2nd or 3rd round. They won't wait all the way till the 4th or 5th. They can't afford to. So I'm going to go Jadarian Price, but I wouldn't be surprised if they went Chris Johnson here corner from San Diego State also.
Yeah. I don't know this stat off the top of my head. I'm sure we'll be told it if this happens. Has there ever been a time in which two running backs from the same school go in the first round? I just assume not. But
I'm sure there has been.
Yeah, maybe.
When Reggie went, I don't think Lendale went in the first round.
I don't think so either.
And that's probably been the closest we've been recently, I think.
I would think so.
But yeah, I don't know. But Jadarian Price, you always kind of felt like, man, the only thing holding this guy back is that these two guys are sharing the carries. Like they're just sharing the workload right now, which means you also feel like you're getting a fresh back. So you should be really happy about that if you're an NFL team looking at Jadarian Price as well. And he's the full running back, block, pass catching, in between the tackles. He's a full three down back. So that's what Seattle needs. Sam Darnold can't be back there launching the ball 40 times a game. That's not how they won this Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I think you need to put a premium. And once again, everyone's like, oh, you don't want to draft a running back in the first round. Actually, if you think this highly of them, you absolutely should, because you get another year of team control. And then you're not worrying about that contract again, like you were with Kenneth Walker when he's leaving. You're like, well, that's fine. We got, all the years we wanted out of him, and now he's gone. And they could do the same now with Jadarian Price.
All right. That is our 2026 alternating mock draft. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. The second round is on Friday. Again, join us on Thursday for the first round. Join us live. We'll have the chat open. We'll be interacting with everyone. We'd love to see you there and react in the comments of this video or in the comments of whatever podcast platform you're listening on. We'd love to hear what you think if we drafted a player to your team. Let's talk some hockey and some basketball. And to do that, we'll make some picks.
Sometimes the guys make picks based on their vast knowledge of sports. Sometimes they make picks based on vibes.
Josh, why do you like journalism specifically?
It's because it's a concept, and it's like, I don't know. I just think for me, it's like a horse learning how to not only write, not only write and edit, but also like do like some sort of like in-field reporting. And I just like the idea of a horse with a little voice recorder.
Holds a mic up to the other horses.
Either way, they're probably going to be wrong. It's time for Picks of the Week.
We played that sound clip because we're 2 weeks away. We haven't forgotten this year. Don't worry. By we, I really mean Jonny remembered and texted us and said, hey guys, Kentucky Derby, let's actually pick it this year, which is not happening today. It will happen next week. This week, NHL, I almost said NHL playoffs, and those in the hockey community would smack me with a hockey stick and say Stanley Cup playoffs. So Stanley Cup playoffs underway.
Mr. Cup did not die.
Lord Stanley.
Lord Stanley did not die in vain for us to just call it the NHL playoffs.
Correct. Yep. So that's happening. Now we do have the hindsight of game ones almost all the way across the board, minus Edmonton, Anaheim. That starts tonight as we are recording. So I try not to do this because it never works, especially in hockey. I've got 1 seed versus 1 seed guys for me.
Sure.
Well, you know what? Sorry. Let me back up. I just spoiled what I'm going to pick. Before we get into our championship picks, I do want to talk about one of the series that's happening right now. That is the Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild. I want to talk about it for 2 reasons. Number one, going into this series, this was probably the series with the most consensus of, hey, this is going to be a long series, 6 games, if not 7. Number 2, Josh is in Dallas and follows this team, so it gives him the chance to talk about it. And then number 3, I guess since we made Jonny sad, Josh, you can be sad about how game 1 went.
Always sad.
Yikes.
I blame... I thought I could move away and not have to be as sad. And I blame Nico personally. As we all will. Do you know how many times Dallas has lost a game 1 since 2022?
Every time.
5?
They've played 11. They've played 11 game 1s.
Oh, then more than 7.
All of them.
9.
Oh,
that's
9
close.
out of 11
oh,
first round games. Sorry, it's 9 of 11 game ones.
yeah.
They have not played 9 first round games since 2022.
Oh.
That's not how you math. I don't. What do you do with that?
Apparently win the series anyways
embrace
because
it.
they've made it to the Western Conference
Embrace
Finals
it.
the last 3
Because
years.
here's the thing. They're 6-2 in game 2.
Yeah.
If they're of those 9 games, 6, 7, 8, there's after losing the opener since 2022, this stat is 1 game off. It doesn't matter. They're 6-2 in game 2 after losing the opener, in that same time span. So they've won the series 5 times. So, but they lost 6-1, and the last time, because they lost game 1 last year to Colorado.
Yep.
It was 5-1, but it was 3-1 leaving the seconds, and that's not the worst. It's not a blowout. This is hockey. It's high pace. Sometimes things just happen. Nothing happens on the Dallas side, and so 6-1. It was like a clear 6-1.
Yeah.
So
You're going to be fine.
it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Johnny's confident.
Big setback for an even bigger comeback.
Fosca said, not many positives, to be honest, following the practice Sunday. Robertson said, I mean, we're not playing to lose game 1.
They should be. It's working.
So, second game is tonight. The second game will have been Monday nights at 8:30 my time and 9:30 dumb time on ESPN, Victory Plus, FDS NNO, FDS NWI, TVAS2, and SN360.
I don't think any of those the last things you said are real.
Yeah.
This is from NHL.com/news/the URL numbers. So,
All right.
unless it's a fake site, this is
Fake.
oh crap! It's a polymarket. It's a polymarket front. Darn it!
Yeah, you're on NHL.net.
Oh, God.
Oh no, it's NHL. It's NHL.gov. Crap.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's Sorry, I'm not going to do another joke. Could have been funny, but we're not. And this is my segue into. I'm staring at the Oilers. I'm staring at the Oilers on this playoffs bracket.
No, Josh, don't do it.
Yeah, I'm picking Dallas
Oh.
to at least make it.
No, I thought you were going to
Because
pick the Oilers to make it. I said, don't do it.
No,
Don't do that.
No, why would I? No, I'm not picking a Canadian team. I'm not picking. You see what we did to them at the Olympics? No, I'm not picking a Canadian team. I know that it's not exclusively Canadians on that team. I don't care. I don't want them to be happy. That's the point. That's the goal.
Good reference.
Thank you.
That's all I've said the last month.
That's all I do now. That's all I do.
I do. Yeah.
I'm sorry, kids. We don't go to church. We go to see the Stars lose. That's the rule. That's the goal now.
Yeah, that's right.
Can we get Jeremy? Do we have enough pull to get Jeremy on the podcast? Do you think he watches NHL?
Yeah.
I follow
probably.
his podcast on TikTok. So Artists on Artists.
Close enough.
So I think I can DM him and say, hey, I know you're a theater kid who is based out of LA right now. Do you think you could do a quick podcast with us?
Yep.
I think that would work.
I think so too.
So I'll pick. I don't know if I can pick them to win, but I'm gonna pick Dallas to be in on the West because it's something. It's gonna give Dallas something to look forward to. And I can't ever pick the Bruins. Stupid. Why does Boston exist as a city? Buffalo. That's a team I can get behind.
Nice.
I
want that to happen so bad.
Yeah. You know what I'll do? Did you pick? Did you pick who's winning, Aaron?
Yes.
I will, yeah. I like half spoiled it. I need to spoil the rest of it. But
okay.
Yes.
You know what? I'll be a fan. I'll pick Dallas over Buffalo.
I love it.
Oh, I could also just see what you typed on our Google Doc, but
yeah. By the way, I forgot to mention current scoreboard still Jonny 12, myself 11, Josh 11. So we are still right there. I spoiled it already. I've got both 1 seeds from the East and the West. Will that happen? Probably not, because it just never happens. In fact, the winner of the President's Cup, which is basically the best record in the NHL regular season, has not won an NHL title or a Stanley Cup, as they call it, since 2013. The Chicago Blackhawks, the Colorado Avalanche are that team this year. I think Carolina, the Hurricanes, the number 1 seed in the East, finally gets their championship, because they've been good for forever. With Rod Brindamore, 8 straight playoffs, they've been good, but they just have not been able to get past that second round. In this case, I think they do. I think they're going to be just fine against Ottawa. I think they match up against Colorado. And I'm going to say, just because I want this, it goes the distance. 7 games, Carolina over the Colorado Avalanche.
That's wrong, because Colorado's going to beat Buffalo, because Buffalo's going to put Boston out of their misery. To all of our cheers. And then Buffalo, they just broke their playoff drought this year. And they're going to go all the way to Stanley Cup finals. Josh, I had that as well. But they do lose to the Avalanche, who are, to me, head and shoulders best team this year. And, I know the regular season winner rarely does win. I think this is one of the exceptions.
The only thing preventing me from picking the Avalanche was just that maybe because the playoff format's dumb, and we can talk about that maybe some other time, because the Dallas, Minnesota things, like the 3 seed versus the 4 seed out of 8, it's kind of dumb. But that's the only thing that I could see, like Avalanche, do they get beat up enough playing one of those 2 teams that were also equally great? Both of those teams, the Stars and the Wild, over 100 points this year.
Might sound insane, but the one team that I'm actually super concerned about in the East is Philly. They're on fire right now. As of the recording of this podcast, they're up 1-0 on Pittsburgh. They're playing again tonight, Monday night, against Pittsburgh, and they're just on a heater. And if there's one thing we know about the NHL playoffs, is that can supersede all. They're just absolutely on a heater. They just snuck into the playoffs, and Pittsburgh could pay the price for that. And Carolina, Aaron, you're talking about they can't get out of the second round. That's the matchup. And Carolina's better than Philly, but that doesn't always matter in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's just who's playing the best right now, this moment. And I'm also cheering, of course, for Utah against the Vegas Knights.
Yes,
always.
Yes. Yeah. No, I mean, to your point, Philadelphia completely stuffed that Pittsburgh offense in game 1. It's a great Pittsburgh offense, one of the best in the NHL. So,
speaking of just getting stuffed, this is my best segue into, I just want to mention that Wembanyama, shut up. That I said that sarcastically. Please keep doing what you're doing. He had more points than minutes
he
last
learned all
night.
the Shaolin secrets, man.
33 minutes, 35 points. Drop whatever your version of TB12 is. VW1.
That goes. That works.
I think that works. I own that now. You have to pay me.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the Detroit Pistons, only NBA team. We talked about our NBA picks last week. Only home team.
Only NBA team ever.
Yeah. Only home team in the NBA playoffs so far this year is what I was trying to say. They're the only NBA team ever. The only home team to lose this NBA playoffs. So I hope that's not a continuation of things to come.
Good news for me.
Jonny, no, stop it. You don't want Orlando.
Yeah, I do.
They
instead of
ruined you guys the last time.
Instead of you guys, I'll play them. Enough. Or I'll just take a long series. That's good too.
Yeah, well, I think you're going to get that, because I think Orlando gets at least one more. Anyways, so that's NBA, that's NHL. This is what we're following.
The guys spent hours scrolling social media, and they found some pretty dumb stuff. Now they want to talk to you about it.
Oh, by the way, I did find there is bowling in Dave & Buster's. Woo. Importantly, it's half off on Wednesdays as of 5 years ago.
Oh.
That coupon still spends. Let's go.
Good luck. It's time for What We're Following.
Gentlemen, I could start because I've got two tales of cheap ownership. The first tale of cheap ownership is that sometimes you just luck into things. And right now, boy, are the Cincinnati Reds lucky. They are first in the National League Central. I'm going to see them play on Friday. They can't hit worth a darn.
Don't worry, I'm not going
But
with
you know
them.
what? That's a good point. Johnny has been banned from Great American Ballpark, as we all know, as has been publicized. They're 14-8. They're the worst batting average team in the league. It's basically an offense of just Ellie De La Cruz and Sal Stewart and Eugenio Suarez and occasionally other people. But I'm thrilled. This is actually, in all seriousness, this is basically their best start to a year in 20 years. So basically, this is my first season in April as a fan where I'm just not instantly depressed. I will take it. I'd like to see us be able to hit the ball, but you know what? I'll take it. The second story of cheap ownership is not nearly as fun because the owner of the Portland Trailblazers, his name is Tom Dundon, which I'm going to say dum-dum because the Blazers are the only playoff team who did not send their two-way players, which, bear in mind, these are ineligible players for the playoffs, but they did not send them on the road for games 1 and game 2 this weekend in San Antonio. Every other team did. They're also not, and this is a crime, and this is a egregious crime against the podcast, as you know. They are not giving out playoff t-shirts when the Portland Trailblazers are at home in game 3 and game 4. You know how, if you've listened to the show, you know how we feel about playoff t-shirts.
You're not too cool.
Mm-hmm.
No one is too cool to not wear the t-shirt. OKC was shaming people. It was great.
Yes.
Yeah, and it looked great. Game 1 looked great. San Antonio, the Fiesta was sick.
That was.
Or was it San Antonio? They were shaming people.
San Antonio was beautiful.
They're all probably shaming.
I think they may have shamed Oklahoma City too, because everyone was
playing.
playing.
Shame them. That's good. I have issues with how OKC's playing, but hats off to the producer.
Yep. So we're shaming the owner now because we can't shame the fans because they have no playoff
brand new
shirts
owner
to wear.
too.
How are we this? You are in the playoffs, good sir. How are we being cheap now?
Yeah, you're getting extra money.
So
that's the whole point.
Right.
Stupid.
Yep. Jail.
I'm going to send someone to jail real quick.
Unless
you guys like it, then I will not send them to jail.
Yay.
All jails.
Real quick,
Yay.
there's 2 jails. One, this is just like a temporary holding. Maybe just like you put them in lockup for like a day or 2 and make them think about what they've done. But you can do something about this. University of Miami, not Ohio. The other one, the bad one, the one we don't like.
The newer one. It's not as old.
Does the upside down U do anything? It doesn't matter. We're going to send them and anybody who's ordered this to jail at their baseball games. We've talked about baseball food. You can get a baseball food there. You can get a pimento cheese milkshake.
No.
Vanilla ice cream,
No.
vanilla syrup, pimento cheese,
We were so close.
potato chips topped cheese sandwich. This was published April 9th, so it is not a joke.
Gross.
I mean, it is a joke, Josh.
Oh, it is. Oh, it's a joke.
It's not a good one.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's according to Sports Scran. Give them a follow. Give any Scran account a follow. I love seeing all the food that all of these little places come up with, except for when it's pimento cheese milkshake. Please go away. If you like pimento so much, go move there. I don't know.
Move to pimento, correct.
Yes. Live inside a big pimento. I'm going to send the entire C-suite of Virgin Voyages to jail.
Okay.
Have I been on Virgin Voyages? No. Do I see them occasionally at ports when my ship pulls up? And we go, Virgin. Yes, you're supposed to make the joke. It's there. They write it on the side of their ships. The Virgin Voyage's Valiant Lady last week was supposed to do a lovely, like, I don't know, 7-night cruise, Monday to Monday. No, sorry, Sunday to Sunday. That's how it works. Sunday to Sunday, New York to Bermuda.
Sounds a
Cruise.
very normal cruise.
That sounds like a typical cruise that I would pay for. Going from New York all the way down. It was their only port of call because it's pretty far south. But Virgin Voyages, you're known as, like, it's not the party cruise, but you have fun while you're there. Obviously, it's not super warm in the Northeast, but it's not the worst, and it just gets better as you go south. Unfortunately, there were some weather safety concerns. So, and I'm so glad. I think Aaron knows what's happened.
This
Johnny,
came
have you
across
heard?
my TikTok.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Johnny knows nothing.
Johnny
so
learned about this in 3 weeks. He's going to love it.
Yeah. So again, people have packed. They are ready to go. They are on their way. If you're not living in New York or anywhere near, you're starting to maybe plan flights, or not starting to plan flights. You have planned your flights, or you're driving, or whatever have you. The Friday before. So this would have been not this past Friday, but the Friday before. 3 days before you set sail. And again, you check in 24 hours in advance, or there's all this whole thing. Ahoy, sailor. This is the email you get. We wanted to share an important update about your upcoming voyage. Due to forecasted weather, it's become necessary to adjust our itinerary to keep things smooth, safe, and comfortable. Instead of Bermuda, we'll be headed to, Johnny, if you were Virgin Voyages, the Valiant Lady, and you were going, okay, we can't go to Bermuda because it's unsafe. I don't know why. They didn't say. I'm just using the forecasted weather.
The triangle's bad this time of year?
Maybe it's the triangle. Maybe the triangle's real hungry. Where are you diverting?
Well,
you only get one port of call.
Still
so you're like, okay, where else can we go?
Like you can still head south?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
Like my thing. It's like, well, if the weather's that bad on the way to Bermuda, is it like just bad south in general? I mean, I'd at least try to go to like Charleston. I don't know, something. Charleston's fun. Okay,
here we go. Charleston's fine.
Yeah,
there we go. You take a few days, you just kind of stay out, and it's not super warm in like that part of the Atlantic, but you can make it work.
Yeah.
Not as nice as Bermuda. Here we go. How about Charleston or something? You can't really go around Florida, but like, you make something work. Jacksonville. It's bad, but you can go there.
Don't go to Jacksonville.
Don't go to Jacksonville. No one wants to go to Galveston. Or you could go to the Galveston of Canada.
I knew you were going to say it was. They went north instead.
They went to St. John.
No, now hold on.
They went to St. John,
Puffins
New
are
Brunswick.
up there. Don't besmirch the Puffins, Josh.
I'm not besmirching the Puffins, but the Puffins have prepped already. This is unfortunately, I don't know if the Puffins are really like the Puffins are moving around
right now. Actually,
they aren't.
I think they're in Iceland because in Great Britain right now.
Yes, St. John, New Brunswick.
Yeah, I know. Birding.
I genuinely love that you know that.
You went, it's Puffin season. Of course I go.
That's right.
You know what isn't there? The tourist season.
No, it's cold. It's still cold, man.
In April. And you're like, it's warm here. Yeah, you're in Dallas. Me. Of course, it's not bad. And we just had a little bit of a cold front, which means it's only like 69 out right now. A far cry from what it was a few days ago. We had rain and it got slightly chilly. Or you could have gone to St. John, which is like 40 all the time. Because it's that far north.
It's chilly 40 too. You're right on the coast.
It's a bad 40. Dare I say it's a British 40. It's cloudy. It's industrial. I'm not joking when I say it's an industrial port that largely supports like oil refineries.
Ooh.
It's
it really
the Galveston
is 40
of Canada
every day. Like I've got the weather pulled up. That's crazy.
Yeah. Now, if you are
into reimburse people, did they offer the opportunity to be reimbursed, or they were just like, sorry,
did they offer the opportunity to just jump off the ship?
So not a lot of people know that. once they don't have that many railings on these big cruise ships. They can't stop all of you. No, Jonny, don't worry. They did comp.
Okay.
There's a mutiny. Oh, did the pilot leave? No.
We did.
The passengers did.
We found a way to open the lifeboats.
Yeah, that's right.
You were offered complimentary, because this is a big change.
Huge.
I've packed for Bermuda. I am in Charlotte's airport right now because I got to get there a day or two in advance just to make sure, with all the traveling and craziness that's been going on. I'm in Charlotte airport. I forget their code. I'm ready to go. And I get this email that says, "Hey, get rid of your swim trunks and buy all new clothes in New York before you go to St. John. Don't worry. Here's your option. $100 onboard credit." Everybody got that. Isn't that nice of them?
It's like 2 articles of warm clothing.
That's 2 drinks
you can buy with that.
On a cruise ship,
or
that's
that.
2 drinks.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I've been following specifically on TikTok, and I think this is who, among others, you've been following, Aaron. India and Ian McHugh. They live in Ohio.
Of course they do.
So I could have just said John Glenn. And you guys know what Ohio's weather was at the end of March, beginning of April. Not the worst. About what you would expect, which is chilly, but there's signs of life. And you go, man, we're still just preseason for like the big rush. Wouldn't it be great if we just take our mother, a kindergarten teacher on spring break? What if for her spring break week, we take her to sunny, beautiful Bermuda? St. John.
Yep. New Brunswick.
Hey, I bet there's some good hockey watching up there, though.
This time
just
of year,
find a good old tavern up there in St. John.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Because it was their only port of call for the entire cruise, they docked early, and you got to do anything you wanted in St. John. Except the issue was nobody's packed. It's the tourist works, like nothing's ready yet.
Nothing's open.
And so nothing's open except the taverns. Not even transportation was provided. You had to get yourself in.
Oh, there's your $100.
Sorry, it's American, does not transfer. American currency does not transfer.
Like, that's terrible. Jail. Jail.
Yep. Jail. Jonny, you throwing someone in jail too?
I am. Josh, a good cruise line, Royal Caribbean, for me, I actually got to go on a cruise ship last minute because originally the ship was going to go to Cuba, and then that had to be canceled because, our relations are on and off with Cuba all the time. So instead, they fully comped everybody who already had the ship, or they got half off. And I, who didn't book originally, but hopped on last minute, got a half price ticket to go to the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. Not a bad switch. That's not a bad pretty switch. Close 1-for-1. Not Havana, if that's what you wanted.
Not Havana.
But they gave you a full comp, or they gave you a really realistically about as equal as possible. So that's so fun.
Crazy. That's exactly what happened with me. We were originally going to ship out of New York, and we were going to go down. We were going to hit Fort Lauderdale, and then we were going to hit whatever Royal Caribbean's private island was, and then I think maybe one stop, maybe Bermuda, probably. Maybe somewhere Jamaica, Nassau, exactly. And then a little virus, a little one, kind of took charge of the news waves in 2020, and they gave us a full comp.
Full comp. See, there you go. That's how you get out of jail free card.
Yes, and we rolled that into our shipping out of Galveston, and then realizing we're never shipping out of Galveston or going there, or even
dirty
really going much
water
further
in
south.
Galveston.
We left. When we left, we were still in like the nice blue Caribbean water, like the last night of the cruise, and then we wake up the next morning, and I get out because it's early. You're disembarking at 6.
It's early.
I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna get out a little earlier and just kind of and it was just you ever smell 5,000 eggs at once?
So is Galveston getting put back in jail in this segment too? Yeah,
I am going to put Galveston back in jail.
I'm also putting,
if they can fit next to San Antonio,
I am putting.
I don't know if there's
the
room.
T. Marzetti Company, one of Columbus's
I'm
own.
I'm so glad
in jail. I'm also putting them in jail. Why? Well, we've talked about on this podcast before that there's a war on protein.
There really is.
A
I don't
real
know why I'm
war
laughing.
on protein.
It's a serious matter.
It's very serious. You know who has jumped on board to fight against this war on protein? The T. Marzetti Company. Once again, a Columbus, like one of our own. So an establishment, a linchpin of the community, if you will. So they manufacture, salad dressings for the most part. Well, they've jumped on board here, and
do I need protein in my salad dressing?
They produced a protein ranch dressing, and I think we just all need to pause. We need to pause, think about what we're doing, who we've become, and if that's who we really want to be. I think we all need to take a step back and just wait. And it's also borderline false advertising because it's 3 grams of protein in the salad dressing. It's nothing.
It's crazy.
It's nothing.
It's nothing.
It's nothing. That is not protein salad dressing. Like, what do you do? You put one peanut in the salad dressing. You just grind it up and put it in the salad dressing.
You know what has 3 grams of protein per serving? 3 grams of chicken. And you know what I could do? I have a chicken breast right now that I've prepped to put on top of chicken on top of salad for my lunch tomorrow.
Once again, did I miss something?
You know what easy that is?
Is there like a disease ravaging the country right now that is all about a lack of protein in our diets? If anything, we probably eat way too much protein. Where is this war on protein coming from? I have no idea. But the fact that we have salad dressing companies in on the war now too, we need to stop and look at ourselves in the mirror, because we're all wearing clown noses right now. Clown noses. And that's also terrifying to me. So
I shouldn't have. But Johnny, I saw protein Doritos yesterday at Sam's Club.
Please tell me you're lying to me. You're lying to me.
10 grams.
You better be lying to me.
10 grams of. Johnny, would you like me to be lying to you?
Yes, I would like you to be lying to me.
Okay, Johnny, go ahead and take off your headphones. Last thing you're going to hear is I'm lying to you. Okay, so it's 10 grams of protein, or about per 10 chips.
We're per 10 chips?
Per 10 chips.
There's a gram of protein each chip?
As customers increasingly look for functional ingredients in their snacks.
Need protein in
your
Doritos. They're called nachos.
Customers increasingly look for functional ingredients in their everyday snacks and beverages. Pepsi, are you saying you're going to...
There's going to be protein drinks now, but obviously you're like, of course
there's
Pepsi
protein prebiotic,
drinks, but it's going to be like Coke protein. Not like, here's your chocolate protein shake after a workout. It's going to be, Aaron, you remember when we were grad assistants, Coke coffee. This is their next terrible idea.
Oh, I do remember.
Their next awful idea is going to be, just wait, you're going to hear the brought to you by Coke protein next March. And just awful. Awful. Terrible idea.
Yeah.
Please stop.
The last straw is when I get my Diet Dr. Kelp and there's protein in it. That's when I lose it.
Do you guys have up north, do you have the Spilt drink? SPYLT?
We don't have that. I'm trying to think if we have anything similar.
So Spilt is what I see a ton at Kroger's. I don't know.
Oh, yes. I've seen
it's probably a parody of itself. It's kind of the jumping the shark. It's a caffeinated protein shake.
Oh, I see.
So it's got 20 grams of protein.
I've seen this.
And
but I don't hate this. Like, maybe I hate the taste of it, but it's not like it's something that is a normal thing that protein got added to. This is like supposed to be for protein. So I'm actually
this is
okay with
fine.
This
one's
This
okay.
is fine.
This one's okay.
Yeah.
This is fine.
Yeah.
I just like I couldn't. Josh, I went to Starbucks the other day. It was my last day at an old job, so I was like getting people some stuff, and I couldn't get a iced caramel latte without the protein.
Because you got to add.
That was this. If you're getting a iced caramel latte, it will have the protein in it, and I'm like, I don't want that. Whatever you're adding into the drink, I don't want it. If I need protein, I shouldn't be going to Starbucks to look for it. Sorry.
I'm trying to figure out how to salvage the end of this. Other than action statement, go on a protein-free diet. I don't know.
Become a conscientious objector to the war on protein.
There you go. That's better, Josh.
Burn your protein card. I don't know. I don't know how many of these. I don't know how many of these jokes I can make. Actually,
I don't know. Here's an action statement: enjoy the NBA playoffs. Enjoy the NHL playoffs. Enjoy the NFL draft. And the most important action statement is join us on Thursday for myself. For Jonny, we'll be there. We got you for the whole first round. We'll break down every single pick. We'll take a look at our alternating mock draft. Did we just luck into a correct pick other than, Fernando Mendoza to the Raiders? We will find out. We'll have other mock drafts, other things happening. There will be giveaways. If you've made it this far to the end of the podcast, here's your sign that we're going to do a merch giveaway, which we have not done in quite some time. And it's because our merch is going away, so we can replace it with new merch. Yeah. So that's your reward for staying to the end, is that we advertised to you. So you're welcome. But be there. We're excited. Looking forward to it. If you can't make it, that's fine. The full replay of the show, if everything works right on the technology side, will be uploaded afterwards to the Fifth and Goal podcast channel. So for myself, for Josh, for Jonny, for producer Chris in the Void, thank you for tuning into this episode of the Fifth and Goal podcast. We will see you next week with reactions to the draft and updates to the NHL and NBA postseasons. Thanks for being here. We'll see you all next week.